Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Today we've got our full crew, which is really exciting. So welcome back, Fred. And we're excited to have you. I'm Fatima.
I'm Fred.
I'm John.
I am Cyrene.
Excellent. So today we're going to be talking about headaches and how we can make sure we stay healthy or prevent headaches. And speaking from experience, headaches are no fun. I get a migraine maybe once every, 1 to 3 months. I used to get them once every month. And then of course, I get menstrual headaches, which are not fun. But there's a difference between a headache and a migraine and a concussion headache. So I've had that. So I probably experienced all types of headaches, and you definitely don't want to be near me when I've got a headache. Any of you guys experienced headaches or know anyone that has gone through it? I know you guys have seen me through my worst times.
I've had maybe 10 headaches in my life so far, and I'm very fortunate. They're very, very, very rare. So when I get them, just get away from me because I don't know what's going on, right? And it's normally because I'm dehydrated, and then it goes away. But yeah, it runs in my family. My dad has migraine when I was growing up, all the time.
Really?
I wish I know what I know today so I could have helped him.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I wish I know what it feels like. And I'm like, no.
No, I don't. No.
You definitely don't want to feel what it feels like to have a headache.
No, because then you couldn't Google how to fix a headache, right? Exactly. So all they kept saying is drink, but that didn't work for him. You know.
What was he drinking?
I mean, water. Drink water. There you go. Too much alcohol.
Maybe another bottle.
But yeah, that's actually, that's one of the things that they do say is like if you're dehydrated, that's one of the symptoms. That's one of the causes of a headache. And I know, and you guys know that I drink a lot of water. Like I drink up to 4 liters a day on a given day. And then the days that I've been out and about and I forget to bring my water, or I'm just usually I can't go more than an hour without even drinking water. Those days that I've gone past that, I've got a headache the next day.
Probably because your body got used to having that amount of water.
Yeah. So it's less amount of water. So that's one of the things that causes a headache.
And there's so many others like anxiety, stress, having really bad lighting come on you, not enough exercise.
Sound.
Staring at things for long, like your phone, right?
Exactly.
Yep. And also food is another indicator. So if if you've actually got a gluten insensitivity or a gluten intolerance,
like I do, yeah,
headaches are very instantaneous. Like I don't know if I have ever told you guys. So in January of 2014, I kid you not, I had 15 days consecutive. So January 1st to January 15, I was in bed. I had massive headaches. Like it was so bad. My head felt like it was bouncing from one end to the other. I was holding my head shriveled up in a ball because my head was hurting so much.
Was it due to too much partying for New Year's Eve?
No.
15 days of birthday celebrations.
Yeah, no, none of that. I don't drink. I don't do drugs or any of that stuff. And so I went to my doctor, and I'm like, "What the hell is going on? There's something here." Like I'm reading on Google, like more than 8 days. Like you shouldn't be having a headache for that many days consecutive, right?
Yeah.
Because now they're saying it could be an aneurysm or it could be something. And so I went to my doctor. And I was very concerned, obviously 15 days, and it took everything out of me to even drive to my doctor's. I live in Richmond and it was on Commercial Drive.
Your parents should have driven you, Fatima.
They were working and I was like, in hindsight, they should have, but there was nobody there. Yeah. And you know what the doctor said to me without even looking at any test or doing anything? Oh, here's one of those, the applicators that you put underneath your tongue and it dissolves and you'll be fine. I'm like, no, you need to get to the root of it. Like,
Are you just giving you a drug?
He was giving me a drug.
Oh, okay.
Oh God.
And I'm like, no, like what, why, like you're not answering that, first of all, that main question. 15 days, why, what's happening? There's something wrong there. And then you're not getting to the root of it. So then in that process, I started, that's actually when the Hay House Summit had come out at that time. And so Hay House Summit is a very holistic approach to health. And so there was a lot of, it was like a 21-day session or series on different health topics holistically. So I was listening and, you know, like my head was sort of decomposing. I was doing a lot of hypnosis because that was sort of calming my head down, my nerves, and, you know, everything else that was going on. But then Dr. Wayne Dyer started talking about the wheat belly. Have you guys heard of the wheat belly?
Yeah.
It's a book. So he was talking about the wheat belly, and he was talking about all these different symptoms and everything. And that basically led me to realize that, hey, there's something more than just the headaches. This is how I actually was able to correlate how I ended up with this gluten intolerance. And then, so then I started reading more, doing some more research, and I discovered that, you know, there's certain foods, wheat is the #1 cause for gluten, and that will strike a headache. So now I know anytime I have had wheat, right away, I've got a headache. Instantaneously, I'll have a headache or pasta. And so with that discovery, it was quite interesting. Like I did a lot more research, whatever. I started then testing myself. I started eliminating all these foods, and then I brought them back in. And the minute I would bring certain foods, I was like, don't talk to me, I've got a headache. So it helps to, you know, yeah, you do need to see your doctor, but also do your own due diligence.
Well, listening to your story and the fact that you went to see the doctor, that's, I'm not a big fan of doctors myself because they always patch the problem, but they don't fix it at the root. And you just said it. They wanted to give you something to hide it, so then you don't know the problem. So you today, you would not know that you're gluten intolerant otherwise.
Yeah.
And I think it's brilliant that you went that step further to look into finding more information about it to get to the root cause of it, because most people wouldn't do that.
Exactly.
Okay, give me the Tylenol and
exactly. I want the pain to go away to function.
Yeah.
that's right.
Nothing
That's right.
matters at that moment.
So
That's right.
Fatima, or anybody that has like a food triggered headache or a headache that gets triggered by food, if you know what causes it, do you know what reverses it?
Sleep.
No, but let's say you
Like-
take, like you're saying, if you take gluten, if you eat something that's gluten,
Yeah,
and it comes like within the 20, 30 minutes.
less
you know,
than that,
something that you
less
could-
than that.
Okay, less than that. Do you know something that would kind of ease it back, like kind of just?
No, John, there isn't
isn't?
anything.
No.
You have
Oh,
to
okay.
sleep it off or drink lots of water and let
Yeah.
it flush through your system.
Mhm.
That's what I had to do when I was
Same thing with you.
reacting to dairy or gluten.
Yeah, like for me, it's like, so if I wake up with a headache in the morning, first thing I will do, I will go back to sleep. You guys saw that the other day, like you saw what kind of mess I was in. Like you don't want to talk to me. Like I can't function. I don't drink, but I would almost be like a drunk because I'm so like my wires, my neurons, my wires, they're all over the place. Like I have no I have no control of what is or what isn't. I have no like sense of direction.
Yeah.
So that's my first line of defense is I will go to sleep. If I'm waking up with it, I will go to sleep. And because I've actually had 4 concussions in the same spot back here, so sometimes at night, if I've slept the wrong way, if I get a headache from here, it's a very different headache than a migraine. Very different. So that one, I do end up having to take an Advil because like I've slept the wrong way, and it just like nothing will, you know, cure it.
Yeah.
But I'll take that Advil and go back to sleep. Of course, you want to stay out of light. Another cause for headaches is lack of food, is if you haven't had your food in time. So you know how people get hangry? That's usually, yeah, that's usually like a sign like, okay, you need to have some like food in you. And I've had those as well, where it's like, I haven't eaten because I've been running around and I forget to take care of myself, which is not a good thing. And that's why I'm not in the event industry anymore. But it just literally just crash. And then if you don't get it, you snap.
Tip for when you say Advil, Fatima, I always had caffeine and Advil together because it speeds up the recovery.
Yeah, it speeds up, I think, how fast the medication gets into your system, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that was advice given to me by a nurse.
Oh,
Many
I had
years
Maybe
ago,
I should start making
she
coffee.
said, you take Tylenol, yeah, take a couple of Tylenols or Advils, and if you want to, you could. I'm not advising it, but supposedly it gets into your system faster. I tried it and it did.
Because it's heating it up, right? It's hot. So anytime if you take a hotter drink, it just takes it in like faster. Now, speaking of coffee,
so unless you have caffeine, it's all about caffeine.
So speaking of coffee actually is a trigger for migraine. Coffee, green grapes. I know, I'm surprised you don't get them. And chocolate.
Caffeine helps me.
Like too much chocolate or just some chocolate?
No, chocolate. Like those are supposed to be triggers for most people. Like
chocolate.
I know for me, coffee, the minute I've got coffee, I'm done. I've got a headache. But there are natural ways to heal, like, work through a headache. One is, hey, sleep it off. That is your best bet, to sleep it off. Take that extra hour, hour and a half, sleep it off, and make sure it's completely dark when you're doing that. Another thing is also essential oils that I use. So I'll massage it into my templates here. And that way it actually soothes, and I'll also sniff it. So it's a faster kick. Another one that I do is I will take grapeseed extract and vitamin C extract. So that allows like blood flow to my brain. Along with, I will take turmeric with glucosamine.
Okay.
And also sometimes magnesium, calcium. So with those, because the magnesium, calcium, it allows your muscles to contract and release. And the turmeric is it's a natural anti-inflammatory, antihistamine. I can't even talk because I'm like,
it's a pain reliever too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never tried that one, but magnesium really, really helps me.
Yeah, and then so for me, like I use the Advil as the last resort. If I've gone through all of these and then it's still like I can't function, then I'll go to the Advil. But if I'm out and I have no choice, I will take an Advil because that's the fastest thing that'll
I feel like through. In today's world, I feel like everyone who has a headache, they'll just pop an Advil or Tylenol. And I always say to people, well, your body doesn't speak to you. Your headache is a way of your body speaking to you. Mm-hmm. So you've got to listen. Don't shut it up. You've got to listen to what your head is saying to you. Something is wrong. You don't want to hide it. You want to find out the cause like you did, right?
Yeah.
And in a lot of cases as well, I've seen with people that I've helped is a deficiency in nutritionals, like in vitamins and minerals. And then it can be fixed in some cases, like within minutes, hours, but it's about understanding to listen to your body. You can have a headache because you're tired, because you're dehydrated. But if you hide it, you won't never know, and your headache will keep coming back.
Yeah.
You're not trying to find out what causes it. You just, like, if you can prevent it, then you'll never get it, or not get it as much.
That's right.
Rather than just doing what you're doing and then getting it and then just trying to, because once you get it, you just want to get rid of it. When we're sick, we want to get rid of it very fast.
That's
And
right.
unfortunately for even myself, if I do what Fatima says, we've gone through the entire arsenal of what we can do to relieve the headache, and after about 2 days, if it's still there, Tylenol, Advil right away.
Yeah.
And then
We're
go
not
to bed.
promoters. We're not promoting Advil or Tylenol medication.
It's just
No, I know.
You know,
Well, ibuprofen,
do
right?
what works for you.
But
Yeah,
it's like Fatima, right? If you you want to eat your gluten, and then you take you're like, okay, I'm gonna have that croissant regardless, and then you just pop an Advil after or anything to hide the headache. And I'm sure a lot of people do that. They just eat whatever, and then they get the headache. They take a ibuprofen, and then it goes away. But if you keep doing that all the time, then over time, your health is going to deteriorate, right?
Yeah.
Or you are addicted to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's almost like
migraines. Sorry, I have migraines like Fatima, and I've been like I had 3 days every time around the menstrual cycle, which I'm sure in your family will have them too. It goes through one side, down the other side, but it's all about eating, being aware of what you're putting in your mouth. Like you say, preventative, John. You don't want to have certain foods to have to eat, but then at the same time, you stay away from what triggers you. And now that we know that we can focus on stuff that we can eat and what are healthy for us, right, Fred?
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, it's almost like people that can't have dairy. They still want the dairy because dairy tastes good. We all agree cheeses, ice cream, everything is made with dairy, and it's hard to get away from it. There are options now, which is good because I can't have that much dairy as well. But I have people that I know that take like one of those what do you call those pills before they take dairy because they just want that slice of pizza, right? Or they want to have that.
Oh God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you take it so that they can process the what is it? The
lactose?
Yeah, whatever it is in dairy, lactose or the enzyme, just so that they
casein,
enjoy the food.
casein, right?
Yeah, whatever it is, Fred, and just so that they can enjoy the food. And I'm like, man,
wait out.
Yeah, wait out.
You kind of wait out. Like, is it worth this slice of cake or this cup of ice cream? Or can I do without it and have another? Because now there's choices. There's dairy-free options and there's dairy-free milk and that you can use to bake with, right? But sometimes you just can't get away from it's there. Like to me, I don't know about you, but a piece of pizza with real cheese is totally different than a piece of pizza with like non-dairy cheese. It's just not the same.
It's not. It definitely is not. Like
yeah, I've given up pizza a long time ago, guys.
Well, it's doable, but you have to wean yourself off of it slowly, right? And
I mean, there's alternative as we discovered. There is the cauliflower pizza that you can make. There is also gluten-free pizza, so then you would just have to replace it with a lactose-free cheese. So there are still options out there, healthier options, and knowing what your triggers are and staying away. But like Cyrene says, not focusing on, oh, I can't have this because, whatever, but hey, I can have this, and that makes my plate even more colorful, or it makes my life that much more interesting.
Right. And like we talked, I mean, Fred can probably share with us on a later time, but if Fred cooked for me without all the gluten and dairy, I'm sure I'd be happy, but it's just training. No, but it's training ourselves to be out there all we're doing is we need to find substitutes, right? That's all we need to do. But it's hard because we're so used to eating those foods that give us that pleasure, right? And like I said, I've tried non-dairy cheese. And I haven't tried non-dairy cheese for a while, but since then, I'm sure there's cheeses that's come out or cheese alternatives that react, smell, taste the same and cook the same. But I just had some bad experiences back then, and it's getting better. It's getting much better.
Right? Cheese.
Okay,
I mean, I can make a real pizza with, it's vegan cheese, but it's stringy and
Well, put it this way: if you make a pizza and I close my eyes and I take a bite of your pizza and I taste it, and I go, "This tastes wonderful," and you tell me everything is like dairy free and gluten free.
Will it taste the same as your pepperoni pizza? Maybe not, but I focus on flavor within the pizza itself. You know, like the ingredients are different than just pepperoni and cheese.
Mhm.
And I put cheese. It's still stringy. Does it taste like mozzarella? No, not really.
Wow, so we've our topic is headaches, and yet we're talking about food.
Pizza.
I
We're
think we're
talking about the dairy that was causing the headache. Be able to, there's options, right? To be able, and today in today's world, there's more option than ever.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
there are.
Yeah.
So let's get back onto the topic at hand, which is headaches. And we know that there are diversions that go with headaches. But so, Cyrene, you've had experiences with headaches. What are
Yes.
some of the things that you do?
You know what? I went through a huge journey because I didn't like the migraines every single month. I was so sick and I vomited till I felt better. It was
Oh,
so
God.
bad. I couldn't even stomach
Wow.
anything, never mind any medication, no matter any minerals or anything. It just had to be out of my system. But my journey was full of, let's try acupuncture. Let's try massage. Let's try chiropractor. I was willing to try everything that didn't allow me to take medication, right? I was always looking for an alternative. And that seemed to, and there's things like biofeedback as well. So now I'm so happy to say I don't have a migraine because I got the aha moment where I'm, like you say, stay away from things that trigger you. And take the things that complement your body that you're able to digest. So I'm not looking for a chiropractor or massage therapist anymore or biofeedback. I'm just feeling grateful for being alive and living my life well.
And another thing that,
Nice.
and those are excellent points. Like I actually had tried acupuncture in my ear. I didn't like it. I honestly didn't.
Is that for a headache though?
Yeah, it was for the headaches.
And
I honestly didn't like it, and I felt like that my ear after that wasn't the same either.
but did your headache go?
For a very short period of time.
Came back.
Oh,
So a short period of time, but I can definitely say, like, over time, like Cyrene, with adjusting to my food, my environment, everything, like my headaches have definitely subsided quite a bit.
Mhm.
Like I used to have like headaches like there was no tomorrow. Now for me, it's pretty much if I've slept the wrong way, then I'm gonna get, and I can't control that. I really can't control that. Or if I haven't had enough water, and that's something I can control because I love my water. So I should be drinking more, not having those days, but you're gonna have those days that you just, life happens,
Mhm.
right? And then in terms of other headaches, like food induced headaches, I'm very particular with what I'm putting in, but sometimes there's an ingredient that you don't know that's in there and that's triggered it, and then you just deal. But it's not my headaches now are far and few,
Mhm.
which is good, which I'm very, very grateful for. But
Yeah.
so there was something else I was going to ask, but that's okay.
Well, there's
I had a-
also, you get sinus headaches.
Oh, those
Yes.
are bad.
Those are painful.
Those are bad.
Oh, I don't know about those. Jesus
my
Christ,
goodness.
what's wrong with me?
Hey, there's
You're
nothing
lucky.
wrong
No.
with you.
Be grateful you don't get
Yeah,
those.
be grateful.
So Cyrene, I used to when I used to get like sinus infections. So what would happen is, the flu's coming, right? Unfortunately, and so I would get the flu, and then I would get the sinus infection. Then it moved down to throat infection, upper chest respiratory infection, and then down to my lungs. So that's the process because it's just the natural way your air and saliva flows. And because I'm coughing because of the throat, coughing, I don't know if it happens to you guys, but when I cough, if I have a severe cough, it creates a huge migraine. And because until the cough goes away, my migraine doesn't go away. So that's so again, going back to what Fred said, is prevention is prevent me from getting sick in the first place, right? It's not preventing the cough, it's preventing everything that starts right from the beginning. And so when it comes to flu season, which we are approaching, it's again, it's bumping up what we need to do to help hopefully, keep it at bay, or if we get it, we don't get as severe, how severe it affects us. But yeah, I headaches during a cough, it's that's how I get it. And I've had those sinus headaches. Imagine having a migraine and a sinus congestion at the same time, and your eyeballs feel like they're literally gonna just
Pop out.
yeah, that's how painful it is.
Yeah,
You can't even see.
Yeah, you can't see because you're just doing this because your eyes are like they literally, my eyes are going like boom, 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 because of the pressure behind your head.
Right.
So, Fred, if you ever want to experience what it's like to have a headache, Excedrin has actually done this really cool experiment. What they've done is they've got binoculars that you put on your head. So it's basically augmented reality. And so you put it on and it actually runs you through what it would be like for a headache or to have a migraine.
Oh, I'm not sure I want to do
I know,
that.
why would
What if it stays after that? What if it stays with me?
It's not going to stay with you because you just put it on for a period of time. So you walk around. They actually did this whole experiment where there's, like family members that get headaches, and then there's family members who don't get headaches. And so the people who were not getting the headaches were not understanding what the person is going through or how so easily they can get this headache. So they actually did a full experiment where they put these augmented glasses on, and the person who did not get a headache, the one that, like the family member that does not have the headache, they actually experienced what it's like, the whole gambit, where you could be walking, doing whatever, and all of a sudden, a split second, you've got this migraine come on.
Wow.
And so then
they were able to understand what their other family members goes through
Yeah.
and be more empathetic towards what they're living.
exactly.
Hey, Fred, it's
Yeah.
like childbirth.
Yeah, apparently you guys don't know what it's like, but there is like, you guys can simulate that. There is that simulation with, like the fake pregnancy
Interesting.
belly.
Yeah, I think there's some videos on YouTube with guys trying to like what women go through with the pain of giving birth, and it's pretty funny. It's on YouTube and stuff. But with headaches, I think I tried to get rid of it. I haven't tried acupuncture. That's one thing I haven't tried for any pain. But luckily, I used to work with an older lady who was a physiotherapist that used to do, or physio or something like that. I had a headache on site, so I was working and she was there, and she's retired, but she sat me down in a chair like I'm sitting there, showed me to close my eyes, and she basically massaged my temples and like up the back of my neck, I guess, and the headache was gone in 10 minutes.
Nice.
Because she said it was, it's basically pressure or flow, right? So if you can so I guess when I do feel a headache coming on, I try to simulate it, and it kind of works. It's almost like having, when you get motion sickness, you wear those motion sickness bands because it puts pressure on some kind of nerve or a pressure point. And then I don't know if it's called tricking your body, but it takes your mind off of that uneasiness.
Another way you can actually cure, or work with a headache, I shouldn't say cure, but it is actually through reflexology. So our feet, the bottom of our feet, they actually, each point or meridian matches up to a body function, body part, even our hands. So another thing that I actually do is I'll take my left hand, so right in between the thumb and your index finger, so that fleshy part, I massage it. I really massage it in if I have like a headache coming in. So I usually take my thumb and I put the thumb on the outside, that pressure point. So you can feel there's like a little knot there, like a little bump. That's where you want to hit if you've got a headache coming on.
You can feel a nerve that you're hitting.
Yeah. So that goes right up to your Your head.
Nice.
Does it matter which side you're doing?
It's generally your left.
Oh, you're using your
Yeah.
right hand to massage the left.
So your right hand is for something else, but your left will connect to your brain.
So massage the left. Okay.
Yeah.
As well.
I was talking to this person who has headaches a lot during the day. So I was asking, maybe you're dehydrated. And she says, no, I drink a lot of water. And I'm like, oh, well. And I ask, what's your first drink of the day? She says, I drink coffee. And like most people, right? They drink, she says, I drink coffee. Do you drink a lot of coffee? Well, I have one before I go to work. I have one when I get to work. I have one during the afternoon. And then, but how much water do you drink? So anyway, all we did is we switched the morning coffee. We didn't get rid of it, but before the morning coffee, she had a glass of water, full glass of water, knock it down. And then she has her coffee. And then her headache were less prominent. To a point where she was drinking her coffee in the morning, and then she stopped drinking coffees after that.
Wow.
And she just kept drinking water, and the headaches were gone. I think her problem was dehydration.
Dehydration.
Dehydrated.
Well, also coffee depletes all the nutritions from you.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you're taking, eating healthy or anything like that. And that's
Yeah. If you do, I'm a coffee lover, if you guys know, and too much is not good, right? It's just, again, spacing it out. Plus, I totally agree. I used to drink coffee first thing in the morning, but for the last probably 5 years now, I wake up and I have two full cups of like warm water, because overnight, you're breathing a lot, you're exhaling a lot of moisture, and people don't know that. Or if you're sweating, during the summer, it's hot, you're pretty, it's humid and stuff, you lose actually a lot. I don't know how much it is, but is this something like a cup of or 2 cups of water a night? You might perspire or just kind of give off. So when you wake up and we're all dry and pasty, and you get that pasty dry throat, rinse your mouth out first, and then down a couple glasses of water in it, and then I have a coffee probably about half an hour after that, and it totally works, Fred. So it's just, you're not changing anything, you're just adapting to still enjoy.
Yeah, that's right.
Adapting, but you can still enjoy your life. It's just now you just add this one little extra step, and that's going to do so much benefits for you.
Yeah. And I feel like that person was confused with the energy. She drank coffee to have the energy that she needed to go through the day, but that gave her a headache. And by drinking more water and less coffee, she got rid of the headache, and she more than likely got more productive and had a better day too. Because imagine working through the day with a headache.
Oh.
Yeah, just having your eyes open.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I know.
I do. Like, I remember when I was working at the airport one time, and all of a sudden it was just like, oh, I've got this really bad headache coming on. You can imagine. There is like fluorescent lights everywhere. There's noise, like there's no tomorrow from like all the machines, people, and all this other stuff. And it's just like, oh my God, what's going on? And then at that particular time, there was construction going on too. So now that means that there's this cold front coming in, this cold pressure coming in. So you got hot, you got cold, we've got our jackets on, and I'm like, oh, there we go, I'm done. I've got a headache. And sure enough, I had to, on my breaks, I literally just found like the darkest corner I could possibly find, and that was hard. And I just went to sleep. I literally went to sleep. I was like, wake me up, someone wake me up in half an hour. I need to sleep right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because I couldn't go home. I didn't have any of my tools with me. And I was at that point where it was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose it if I don't do something. So I went to sleep. One of the times someone gave me a T3.
A what?
Tylenol 3.
Tylenol 3.
Oh, T3. Oh God.
Yeah.
Who carries that with them?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I have a T3 here for it.
Yeah, that was a bad idea, because I was wired and my headache did not go away. And
You're lucky you didn't drink coffee with that, because you're not supposed to. When you get a certain level of like prescription Tylenol, you're not supposed to have like caffeine.
Yeah, so it was pretty bad. And then they actually had to send me home because I was beyond done. They had to actually call my mom to come pick me up because I was not at a place where I could drawn.
And you were in customer service. It might affect your level of, you know, how you act towards a customer.
Yeah.
You know, I want to change seat. Well, you're not changing seat today, man.
Yeah, refund.
Right?
Refund.
Got a headache right now.
Oh no, this was like I was checking people's bags, not even like with the airline. So it's like, you have a pair of scissors? Why? Why are you not smart enough? Go back. Yeah, no, it's definitely not
crabby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that we touched on earlier is when you have a headache, the last thing you want to do is read, watch TV, or play on your phone or like on your tablet or like scroll, because
Yeah.
you're using because most of the time your eyes are already like bright light. You know, bright light when you're having a headache, bright light is also affecting it and increases intensity. So that's why a lot of people with headaches are walking around like with their eyes, because that's it's basically making your eyes work, which is making your brain work more.
That's right.
So what I find that when people are like, "Oh, I have a headache, I'm just gonna lay in bed and read," I go, "That's probably the worst thing you do.
just lay in bed.
You just sleep it off, right? Drink a glass of water and just go to bed."
Exactly. When I worked in retail years ago and I had half an hour for lunch, I would, you know what, they would know when I had a migraine, I'd wear sunglasses. I'm working at a retail store. I'm helping people put on clothes and help them look great. I can still see that it looks great on them, but it's like, what color is it again? I have to bring down my sunglasses. But everyone knew I had a migraine when I had sunglasses, and I wore them at the dental office too. And then half an hour, I'd go in the back, try to sleep, and come back and then function the best I could till I got home.
Oh, well, I didn't know headache was so bad.
It's very debilitating. Very. Like, okay, so Fred, okay, so say you've got one of those drills, like, you know, those people that are drilling in the ground.
Yeah.
Like, now imagine that's like just drilling at you, like 24, like it's just like pounding at you. So you've got layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer, and then you have like this drilling, like constantly going. Just imagine that. Have you ever had an MRI?
No.
Okay.
An MRI?
Magnetic, the tunnel thing that you go through.
No.
Okay, then you would understand a little bit more what I was saying. But it's like literally that's what a headache is. Like, you've got this pressure building up. It's like a volcano ready to erupt with all this pressure, and then you've got like drilling, constant drilling going at you.
Yeah, not pleasant.
Yeah, you know what's even worse is when you have a headache and you're driving in traffic and you pass a construction site and there is a jackhammer. I've had that. And you look out and you're like, that's in my head. And I actually physically, like psychologically, you're like, please, someone just take my brain out and put it on like cooling box or something.
I feel bad for my dad right now because he's had a headache most of my youth, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't really think about it. I think he was managing it very well.
A lot of pressure on your head. As someone like, it feels like it's like tightening as much as I can, and you want to release that.
Yeah, it feels like your brain is literally trying to break through your skull.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
Wow, we've already, like, we're almost at the end of our show, and as you can tell, we can continue talking forever. But just remember, whenever you've got a headache, be smart about it. And if someone around you has a headache, give them their space. Just let them be, and get them to a dark room and just get them water. Just let them be, and not be like, hey, can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you? Can I? Back off.
Stay away, right?
Back off. So that's one thing I would say is just, get to a safe place and make sure you sleep it off, and try doing as many things alternatively as possible, and really get to the root of it before you start popping all the pills. Unless you really need to, then go for it, but really get to the root of it. So that's my advice that I would give. What do you guys have to say on headaches?
I will just say, listen to your body. Just, you have a headache is for one reason. It's not for you to take a pill of something. It's for you to listen to your body. Your body is talking to you. So.
Yeah, exactly. Your headache is just a result of something that happened. So find out what happened, and then see if you don't put your body through that again.
Yeah.
Like find out what the triggers are.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. figure out what your triggers are and ask a lot of questions. And even if you go to your doctor, make sure you get a lot of tests done, because your headaches may be a symptom of something else going on.
Especially if they're happening regularly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Excellent.
Nice.
So that concludes our conversation on headaches. But on October 1st, so this Thursday, this Thursday.
Thursday is
Right,
October.
yeah, wow.
October 1st.
Wow.
Time flies.
Yeah, time flies when you don't even realize it. We've got a special guest coming on, Larissa Russell. She is a best-selling author. She is going to be talking about creative healing. So I've had the pleasure of working with her, and she's quite entertaining as well as very informative. And then on October 6th, which is next Tuesday, we're going to be talking about healthy neighborhoods and why it's important to get to know your neighbors. Then on October 8th, we've got a guest all the way from the Philippines, someone I have worked with, and he's mentored me in many ways. So Ricky Shetty, a lot of people in Vancouver know him as YVR food blogger, YVR daddy. He created that whole brand. So a lot of you know him, but he's now taken a new journey, a healthy journey on how he's lost weight. So he's going to be talking about that. So you definitely don't want to miss out. And for those of you who have not registered, you can still register for the 28-day healthy weight challenge. I think we're actually at what, day 22 now? Day 22. So we're going to be starting another round of the Healthy Weight 28-day challenge. So again, it's never too late. It is quite a bit of fun. I'm sure, you've seen some of our videos as to what we're doing and how we're enjoying ourselves and our journey as well, but definitely something that you want to check out. And please do follow us on all of our platforms. That way you stay connected. So we are the Healthy Way Vibes on everything. You can sign up, and if you have any questions, comments, please put them in the comments below, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.